Listen, the Washington Mystics just put belt to ass on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Sonia Citron was out there cooking with hot grease. Stir the pot, stir the pot. Keep cooking, Sonia. That was a show.
Angel Reese just got cooked on live television, not by a league veteran, not by an MVP, but by rookies who came in with something to prove and left with her reputation in pieces. Yeah, she dropped another double-double. That's supposed to mean something, right? 22 points, 13 boards. But when your team gets smoked by 17 points and the crowd is laughing, along with the announcers, you've got to ask a serious question. Is Angel Reese actually making the Chicago Sky worse? If you're one of the fans who's starting to see through the box score smokescreen, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're digging into what's really going on, and trust me, it's deeper than just missed shots and bad rotations. Because the truth is, no one's talking about this the way they should. Not the league, not the media, but we will.
6 for 16. Shot 35%, 22 points, 13 rebounds, got to the free throw line multiple times, 11 free throws for Angel Reese, but the bloopies were blooping, and oh boy, here we go. All right, we go, right, easy open layup, and a stoink right off the bottom of the backboard, and we're just asking for a foul. We're asking for a foul. We throw the ball off the bottom, that's like the bottom side of the backboard, asking for a foul, no foul to be given in this current point in time.
At first glance, Angel Reese's numbers look impressive. 22 points, 13 rebounds, another double-double to stretch her streak to 11 straight games. That should be headline material, right? Except her team got demolished 103-86. The Chicago Sky weren't just outplayed, they were embarrassed, and Reese was on the court for 28 of those 40 minutes. During that time, the Washington Mystics didn't just score. They bullied the Sky in the paint for 52 points. That's not just bad defense, that's a system failure. And the anchor of that defense, Angel Reese. Even the game's announcers couldn't keep a straight face. They laughed during her botched layup attempt and watched her toss the ball off the bottom of the backboard while begging for a foul. It was the kind of moment that turns highlights into memes and makes fans wonder, are we being fooled by flashy box scores and ESPN graphics? Because while Angel Reese is stacking numbers, her team is stacking losses. They're on a 6-game losing streak, sitting at 7th to 19th, dead last in playoff contention. But that wasn't even the most humiliating part of the night.
Listen, man, Kiki Area Fan got the better of her today. 22 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 of 14 shooting, man. Kiki stirring that pot on Angel today. Listen, the Chicago Sky are trash. And Washington Mystics, you are a 500 team fighting for the playoffs. You are scrapping to get into that playoffs, and I respect it. Led by 2 rookie all-stars, and Angel Reese had the nerve to say they have the best young core in the league.
While Angel Reese was fighting for fouls and fumbling layups, 2 rookies on the other side were making history.
First of all, we all know the Indiana Fever had the best young core in the league with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. Forget young core, that's probably the best duo, period. So, during that whole thing, when she said, yo, we the skyscrapers, best young duo in the league. When she said that, I told y'all, we all knew CC and AB was better. That's not even a conversation. I said, wait a second. Are y'all sure, Angel, are you sure you and Camila are better than Sonia Citron and Kiki? The last I checked, the Washington Mystics had 2 rookies that made the All-Star team. And boy, did they show why today. They took this matchup personal.
Sonia Citron dropped 28 points. Kiki Iriafen added 22 points and 10 rebounds. Both are first-year players, and together, they became the first rookie duo in Washington Mystics history to each score 20-plus points in the same game. That's not just a good performance, that's a message. They weren't supposed to be the stars. They weren't supposed to dominate a veteran-led team. But there they were, taking over the game, right in front of Reese, on her own court. And the worst part, they made it look easy. Coach Tyler Marsh didn't sugarcoat it after the game either. He called out his team's complete complete failure to protect the paint. Something any coach knows is a direct shot at the player tasked with owning that space. That's Angel Reese. She wasn't just outplayed, she got exposed. Reese shot just 6 for 16 from the field, and even though she knocked down 10 of 11 free throws, it didn't matter. When the other team is walking through your defense like it's made of tissue paper, no stat line is going to save you. But the moment that truly shifted the tone of the night wasn't on the stat sheet. It was something everyone watching saw and no one can unsee.
Kira Austin going at him. Everybody's just going at him. The Chicago Sky are food. And I mean, it's just embarrassing to the point where it's like, you, like, as a Sky fan, y'all are probably happy y'all lost by less than 20 points today. And that is embarrassing. That is ridiculous. Y'all getting popped, bro. Y'all not just losing. Y'all getting smoked by 20 and 30 and 40 and almost 50. Bro, y'all are terrible. Something has to change. Something has to change.
It happened in the first quarter. Washington's Shakira Austin spun past Reese, laid it in off the glass, and then hit her with the most savage move in basketball, the too small gesture. She didn't yell. She didn't talk trash. She just let her hand do the talking, motioning that Angel Reese, the supposed paint anchor of Chicago, couldn't measure up. And here's the part that stings the most. Everyone saw it. The fans, the announcers, the camera crew, social media lit up before the ball even hit the floor. This wasn't some heated back and forth between two stars. It was a rookie beating Reese with ease and then publicly clowning her without saying a word. And the announcers, they couldn't help themselves. They actually laughed. Not a chuckle, not a subtle snicker. A full-on, did that just happen? Laugh, live on air. It wasn't just a taunt, it was a turning point, because Reese didn't respond with fire or defense. She didn't lock in or get revenge. Instead, she faded into the background as the Mystics piled on more points and the Sky's defense crumbled entirely. That one gesture summed up everything that's been going wrong with Chicago. You can't be the face of the franchise if you disappear when it matters most. Getting outplayed on the court is one thing, but when a 3-time WNBA champion, a finals MVP, and one of the most respected voices in basketball breaks down your game and ranks you a C-tier player, that hits different. On her new podcast, Post Moves, Candace Parker didn't hold back. She sat across from Aaliyah Boston, another rising star, and laid it out plain. Angel Reese belongs in the C-tier of current WNBA talent.
I think WNBA, with the space and her length and versatility, she's going to be able to have an impact on the defensive end immediately. Then you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level.
Her reasoning? Reese isn't a primary scorer. She's not a player you can build around. She's a hustle player, a rebounder, not a floor general or franchise cornerstone. Parker even asked the question out loud. What player are you taking Angel Reese over? And when silence followed, the message was clear. There's levels to this.
We have her reposting this. I'd be mad too if a girl who was beautiful, rich, and famous, lifestyle of the rich and the famous. They always complaining. Shout out to Good Charlotte, man. They were a quality band. And well-liked among her peers, comes in, breaks my records, gets promotion, brand deals I couldn't get, and then has the audacity to steal my vet. I'd be bitter. Uh-oh, Angel Reese reposted that. And then Angel Reese puts out her own tweet. Clout is one hell of a drug. Like, it really gets to a point. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
Most players would take that kind of criticism and respond on the court, put their head down, get better, prove the doubters wrong. But Reese, she hit back on Twitter. In a cryptic post, she wrote, "Clout is one hell of a drug." That's right, she accused Candace Parker, a 2-time MVP, 2-time NCAA champ, and walking Hall of Fame lock, of chasing clout. Let that sink in. The same Angel Reese who has a podcast of her own, who lives on social media beefs, who's constantly attaching herself to Caitlin Clark headlines, is accusing a legend of clout chasing. If you think Parker was speaking facts, drop a comment below. And if you're tired of athletes dodging real accountability, make sure you're subscribed. We're not done yet, because while Reese was busy tweeting, her team was still losing, and things were about to get even messier. After Candace Parker gave her brutally honest take, Angel Reese had two options: level up her game or double down online. Guess which one she picked. Instead of responding with defense, maturity, or leadership on the court. Reese fired off cryptic tweets and reposted shady content that only made the situation worse. One repost even claimed that other players were bitter because Reese was beautiful, rich, famous, and breaking records. It was less of a clapback and more of a meltdown. Meanwhile, the very players Parker ranked higher than Reese, they weren't talking, they were winning. Caitlin Clark didn't respond to critics. She transformed the Indiana Fever. Her leadership has turned that team from a league afterthought into a genuine threat, and she did it while making her teammates better. Players like Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell, and even veterans began producing at higher levels under her influence. You don't see Clark starting Twitter wars. You don't see Aaliyah Boston reposting memes about being too famous to fail. Why? Because they let their games do the talking. They're not out here chasing brand deals. They're creating team chemistry. They're not feuding with legends. They're building legacies. Reese, on the other hand, continues to lean into social media stardom like it's a substitute for winning. But here's the thing. You can't tweet your way out of a 7-19 record. Her clapback to Parker didn't make her more respected. It made the gap between hype and reality even harder to ignore.
Angel Reese is the double-double queen. They got the brakes beat off of them last night by the Minnesota Lynx. Angel Reese's double-double, I think 11 points, 11 rebounds, was meaningless and insignificant.
Angel Reese is the queen of double-doubles. There's no denying it. She crashes the boards, draws contact, gets to the line. Her hustle is real. But what's it adding up to? The Chicago Sky are 7-19. They're second to last in the league. And despite Reese's stats, they've lost 6 straight. It's starting to look less like dominance and more like stat padding. Meanwhile, players like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull are out here building systems that win. Clark didn't just walk into the league with hype, she walked in and made everyone around her better. That's what separates a highlight reel from a franchise player. Clark's presence in Indiana hasn't just boosted their performance, it's elevated the league. Ticket sales are up, viewership is through the roof. The Fever are relevant again. Reese? She's stacking up individual numbers in blowout losses. Her double-doubles don't shift momentum, they just decorate the box score. And while she's clapping back at legends on Twitter, the team's defensive schemes are falling apart. With her at the center, the contrast couldn't be clearer. One player builds a culture, the other builds a brand, and the WNBA is starting to reward the former over the latter. What makes this even more uncomfortable? Candace Parker wasn't wrong. The tape backs her up, the box scores back her up, the losses back her up. Angel Reese's season has been filled with headlines, double-doubles, viral taunts, Twitter beefs, podcast clips. But the one thing missing from all of it? Wins. Chicago's 7-19 record isn't a fluke. It's a reflection of deeper issues that can't be masked by personal stat lines or Instagram reposts. This team has no defensive anchor, no chemistry, no clear leadership on the floor. And while Angel Reese puts up numbers that look impressive in isolation, they're not moving the needle where it counts. Meanwhile, rookies like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston are changing the trajectory of their franchise. Not with drama, but with discipline. Not with shade, but with substance. You can feel the league shifting. The WNBA is rewarding players who build winning cultures, not just personal brands, and the gap between Reese's public image and her real impact is becoming too wide to ignore. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Double-doubles mean nothing when your team keeps getting cooked. Her feud with Candace Parker? A distraction. Her viral clips? A distraction. Her social media shade? Another distraction. The fans see it. The analysts see it. And the longer this continues, the more obvious it becomes. Reese's stats might sell jerseys, but they're not building a future. If Angel Reese wants to silence the doubters, it won't happen on Twitter. It won't happen in interviews. It will have to happen between the lines, when the scoreboard finally tells a different story. If you're tired of flashy numbers with no substance, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. The WNBA deserves better, and we're going to keep talking about it.